Welcome to the Big Fellas Podcast, where we chop it up about all things past, present, and future about the game of basketball. Where facts, stats, and context reign supreme.
That is blasphemous!
Sometimes it gets crazy, but we always keep it real. Get ready to learn from players, coaches, and fans from all levels of the game and see the court in a brand new way. And now, fresh off the sidelines, here's your host, John Hartofilis.
What it do, fellas, and welcome to the Big Fellas Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, JH, coming to you from New York City, the mecca of basketball. Today, I'm joined by Tyrone Nesby. Tyrone is currently the head varsity basketball coach of Muhlenberg High School in Berks County, Pennsylvania. Before that, Tyrone enjoyed a successful playing career both in the NBA and overseas. After going undrafted, Tyrone worked his tail off to earn a training camp spot on the 1999 Clippers, then coached by the NBA's all-time leading scorer, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. When he averaged 13 points a game as an undrafted rookie, Tyrone became a member of the 2002 Washington Wizards and played with the GOAT, Michael Jordan, before capping off this remarkable journey by traveling the world and absorbing basketball at every stop. We've got a good one in store for you today, fellas. Episode number 12, Tyrone Nesby, an NBA journey. Tyrone, what's going on?
Hey, I'm good, man. How are you?
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I think we're going to have a great conversation about both your career, your time coaching. It's going to be a really good talk.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
So just to start off, I just want to congratulate you on winning the championship as the head coach of Muhlenberg High School. That must have been a great experience for you.
No, it was a great experience. We won the district at our school for the it's the first time ever in the school history to actually win it. So it's actually pretty cool to be a part of that.
I was going to say, so the year before you started coaching there in 2017, when you took over as head coach, the team was 5-17. Just before we get into everything else, how did you kind of spark that turnaround in the program and kind of change the culture there?
Man, I think the most important thing that I did was staying consistent. Come up with a plan and just stick with it. It will require you to spend a lot of time in the gym, require you to do things over and over and over again. But I would tell people just stick with it, man, because it really works.
No, definitely. That's definitely keep it simple, stick with a plan, and just get the best out of your players. That's definitely the most simple way to put it. And obviously, it's brought you success over there at Muhlenberg. That's great. So after winning the championship, obviously it was like this season, a lot of championship games were cut short due to the pandemic. Was that an issue for you guys at all? Or?
Okay, well, we ended up winning the district, but when we was in state, we actually got cut short. We made it to the Elite Eight. Once we got to the Elite Eight, that's when we got cut short. But at the end of the day, man, I am still happy for what my boys have accomplished, man, from not getting the respect to now everybody know who they are. People respect Muhlenberg now, and that's what we want.
No, that's obviously great to just play so well that they were able to put Muhlenberg on the map. That's obviously really awesome to think about. Really quick, just to kind of touch on your career a little bit. Like I've read a lot about you of how you played very little at the start of your high school career, but you worked hard, were able to change the narrative about yourself. So I coached the freshman basketball team at Xavier High School in the city, and that's always something where guys hang their head down. I'm not playing, coach. Right. and they're upset and they have a hard time changing that narrative for themselves and getting better from that. What helped you in flipping that script for yourself?
I can just kind of go back from I didn't start playing basketball until I got in 8th grade. It's really weird, man. I was actually walking down the hallway my 8th grade year going to my last class, 8th period class, and the coach was like, he said, "Hey, big guy." So I just happened to turn around. He's like, "You play basketball?" I was like, "No, I don't." At that time, I was baseball and I ran track and bowling is what I did at that time. And I was like, "No, I don't play basketball." He said, "Man, you need to come try out," and I was like, "No, I'm okay." And when I got home after class, and then when I got to my house, he was outside talking to my mother. And he was telling my mom he'd think that I should be playing basketball. And my mom looked at me and said, "Do you want to try it?" I was like, "Mom, I don't even know anything about the sport. I don't play it, but I don't care. I can go there and just, do whatever he need me to do." And that's how I started playing basketball. And then once, so I did seen both sides. I've seen the side where I was sitting on the bench. I never got in the game. And I have also seen the side where the coach saying, if Nesby not in the game, we're not going to win. So I've just seen both sides of it. But, like I tell kids all the time, once you believe that you like the game, start learning it. But then once you love the game, that's when you're going to really see the change in your development. Because when you love something, you're going to put the time in it to create yourself to become that player that you need to become. So I tell kids to this day, man, just stick with it, whatever it is that you love to do, and stick with it, and you'll see the difference.
That's great advice, and especially how just when you're passionate about something, you'll find a way. No matter what your situation is, you'll find a way out of it and be able to get better from there. So that's great, and then obviously became a kind of a staple of your career. It kind of became a running theme of how you always faced adversity, were able to overcome it, prove the doubters wrong, and that continues here where you get to UNLV, you average 16-7 there, have a great run. Unfortunately, you're going drafted in 1998, but you go right into training camp with the Clippers and in a roster spot, right? And your first year there, you're averaging 10 points a game. So how does that happen where kind of just so quickly in a few months span, you're able to completely shock everyone?
Well, I mean, you hit it on the nose, man. The passion, man, having that passion. Once I fell in love with the game, that's when, again, I knew that I wanted to be a basketball player. And then once I kind of told myself I want to try to make it to the NBA, that made me get up more. That made me wake up in the morning with a different mindset. I woke up in the morning thinking, okay, I want to be the best. I want to go to the NBA now. And so I had to lift more. I had to run more. Been the first person in practice, been the last person leaving practice. All these things, man, it helps. It helps. When the coach say take a day off to me is getting the basketball, going in the gym, shooting. That's my day off. Other people really lay down and rest, but I felt like I was too young to rest. When I'm dead and gone, I can rest forever. But right now, it was like, that was my career. I wasn't going to let anything get in my way of stopping me from trying to make it to the NBA. So at the end of the day, I grind, man. I grind so much where I felt my body breaking down. There was moments where I woke up and I tried to go out and run, and I couldn't even run. Like, my body was like, it reached its max. And if you never push your body to the max, then you'll never know what that feel like. Even going out shooting, I shot the ball so much that my wrist locked up. Where I'm shooting to a point where my wrist locked, but at the same time, I still kept grinding. I still kept working hard. I didn't stop. But I tell every kid, man, when you have something set in your mind and something out there, and whatever goal it is, don't let anything get in front in your way to stop you. So in the course of this run to go through UNLV, there comes with a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of sacrifice in this journey. And one thing I had to learn to not talk to my friends that much. I had to learn to, I'm in Las Vegas, it's Las Vegas, man. I didn't go out. I went from school to playing basketball to my apartment, falling asleep, waking up in the morning, doing it again. I had the opportunity to run in the morning against De La Hoya, who's, De La Hoya, the boxer. He used to run out on the track with us in the morning. That dude is fast, bro. I couldn't. he just consistently just run with the same pace the whole time. But it challenged me. It's things like that challenge you and get you going. And it helped me out a lot. And I wanted to get the MVP. I set goals. I wanted to try to get MVP, and I did twice at UNLV. I led them in scoring twice when I was there at UNLV. Leaving UNLV, going out to the CBA. I went to the CBA, played like not even a full season. I tried out for the Clippers. I went in with that mindset of I want to make it. To be honest with you, I was very upset that I didn't get drafted, number one. That gave me a whole different type of motivation. Like, I had a chip on my shoulder, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was really pissed off because I seen some guys that was going in that draft, and I know that I would destroy. And so that alone made me feel some type of way that I was overlooked. So with that being said, that motivated me a lot. So when I went to the tryout, the camp that I was there at with the Clippers, bro, man, I went in with this fire, man. Like they was wondering, like, okay, who is this guy? Chris Ford, who was the coach at that time. He came up to me and he was like, he said, "So you went to UNLV?" I was like, "Yeah, man." I said, he's like, he says, "It's shocking, man, because I don't know how you got overlooked, man. You're a really good ball player." I said, "Thanks, coach." I said, "Look, I was just trying to make this team, you know." And I went there with fire, man, a lot of fire. You know, I kept my big smile on my face. I love to smile, but at the same time, I had a chip on my shoulder, you know, and he seen it, and he gave me that opportunity, and the Clippers signed me that year, and that's all I needed, man. And I enjoyed the time I was in the NBA.
That's fantastic motivation. I can imagine your players must get so inspired by this. Not being given that opportunity, but going out and taking it. I don't know the exact number on this, but I would imagine more than 99% of people that don't get drafted don't end up playing 255 games in the NBA. So that's definitely something. So when you were with the Clippers, Kareem was your assistant coach. Just kind of as how what was that like? Just on the bench next to you or at practice, being able to talk to the NBA's all-time leading scoring and pick his brain for how to be the best player you could be.
I had a great time with Kareem. You know, me and him clicked right away. He was just one of them guys that was very laid back. You know, he was kind of like, he just told me that, you know what you want, just go get it. It's like, he said, it's not a rocket science. You know, I'm not telling you to go through 900 loops. You know what you need to do. It's anything, man. He's just put your mind to it and go get it. You know, and even when I would miss some shots I know I should be making, he was like, we've seen you make so many of them shots, you know you can make it, but you're in your own mind. You're in your own head, and you're destroying it. So he always stayed calm, you know, and he was just a real good coach, real solid, good coach. I mean, that man would wake up. I never forget. I always go to the gym early, and I get to the gym. I'm like, I heard a ball dribbling. I'm like, who is in the gym right now? It's Kareem. He's in the middle of the floor. He does all these stretches that he loves to do. Then he gets the basketball. This is at 50-some years old. He gets the basketball. He goes down to one end, dunk. He drew the ball down the other end, dunk. He comes back, he do that about 10 times. Then he gets back in the middle. Then he does his stretches and stuff. And then when I seen him, the first time I seen him do that, I went up to him. I was like, that's right, Kareem. You know Bruce Lee. I forgot you did a movie with Bruce Lee. He was like, oh yeah, man, Bruce was in. He was telling me all about Bruce Lee. I mean, think about it. I'm just a little country boy out of Illinois. It's like 5,000 people in my hometown. And here I am next to Kareem, who's sitting there telling me who was next to Bruce Lee. And I'm getting stories on Bruce Lee. Like, come on, bro. That's going to stick with me forever, you know? But he was really good. And then also we had Dennis Johnson, who played with Boston Celtics, was one of my coaches that, you know, I had that was great. I had Doug Collins when I was with Washington. That was great. But one of the things that I did when I got to the NBA what really helped me out was working out with Kobe during the summer. You know, working with Kobe, people, man, you know, I mean, rest in peace, man. He was a really good friend of mine. I mean, he's a really good guy, and I talked to him a lot. But it was really one of the things that his work ethic was just unreal, man. I mean, it's hard to even explain. Like, when you're ready to say, okay, I'm done. I've been here 3 hours. He's saying, what are you going to do when you go home? I'm like, bro, I'm just tired. I'm going to get something to go home. He's okay. So you're going to mess up opportunity where you can spend another hour in here, then going home to lay down. That's what he says. Yep. And then he makes you feel some type of way. And I'm like, you know what, man, let's do it, man. Let's go another hour, you know? And he was like that, man. And if people don't know him personally, only people who can understand this is most of the people who actually know him, you know, and they know that he have a gear that not any player in the NBA have right now to this day. There's not a player in the NBA that have that gear that he has. You know, and I know I'm gonna miss him a lot, you know, because just to have the conversations I'm gonna miss, you know, more than anything.
No, definitely. Rest in peace, Kobe, and that's obviously
yes, sir.
A monumental thing to just have that kind of mentor. who's revered just across the world for his work ethic. When you think about Kobe, the first thing you think of is Mamba mentality, his work ethic, putting up shot. Yep. That's the first thing you think of. So it comes before everything, before the accolades, before the points, before everything. It's his mentality and his constant desire to be better and to also show others how they could be better. So it's not something he just kept to himself. He gave it to everyone else, and that must have been super impactful on you and your career. So kind of sticking to that whole mentality thing, obviously then when you went to the Wizards, you had Michael Jordan as a teammate. So that must have been just one after the other of just all-time great players. For a time, they were numbers 1, 3, and 4 respectively on the all-time leading scorers list. So
I know. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, definitely. So what kind of can you tell us about that?
I mean, one thing I could say is that, when you look at the documentary, that was the young Mike. It's kind of, it reminded me of, like, when you're young and you go to your grandparents' house and they treat you way different from how your mom and dad treat you. The grandparents are really, like, happy to see you, right? See, I got played with Michael when he was older. So when I see some of the stuff and I hear some of the people saying, Mike is this way, Mike was not like that with us. He pushed us. He wanted us to be the best, but he was never disrespectful to us. You know what I'm saying? He was more educational. Like, he was that older Mike that was trying to, help us out and get us to navigate through the NBA and what to do and what not to do. When he was younger, people got to understand he was going for them titles. Michael was going to be the best. So you couldn't expect Michael to talk as much when he was younger because he was too busy trying to get the job done. And now as he got older, and that's why when I watch some of it, I'm like, wow, man, it's good to see how Mike was when he was younger, but he was not like that when he was with us. Now, he still had that fire, and he still want to win, but if I made a mistake, it was not he's trying to drill me out. He would come on and say, yo, what you should have done, you should have. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then that was it. It was really simple. But playing with Mike is weird because it's like I ain't never been around a person that was, I don't even know if I should even say this because I never, guys, because I'm and it's sad that I'm gonna put a human on this level because it's a human, but he was like on God level, like on that. And I hate to say it that way, but I have never been with a person. Soon as we step out the hotel, oh my God, dude, it's like unreal. Like everybody just stopped. And we're walking down the street in Phoenix. And I never forget this, man. We came out the hotel, and when you said the traffic stopped, bro. I thought I was in a movie. I'm probably in so many photos because people took so many pictures, and I was standing right next to Mike. So I probably was in so many photos, but the whole traffic stopped. And people got out their cars. People were standing on top of their cars, taking pictures while we was walking from the hotel. I think it was this place called 24-Hour Fitness. It was called out there in Phoenix. And we was going there to go lift weights. And just that little walk, that one block, bro, the whole traffic stopped. Even the people that was walking towards us, they stopped. They was like, oh my God, Michael Jordan. I mean, it's like they just seen Jesus. You know what I mean? Like everything was just frozen, man. Everybody just stopped. And I was like, this is unfreaking real. And this is Michael at 38. Just imagine how the world was when he was 23 and 24, when he was like, 30 when he was in his prime. Oh, I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine it, man. But he is the truth, man. He is the truth. He's a good guy, man. I learned a lot from him. Man. I asked a ton of questions. I'm one of them guys, I have no shame in asking questions. And I asked a lot of questions of how he did things and what motivated him to get through these years of the NBA, man. And it helped out a lot just to learn that.
What's interesting to note is obviously that change in the way he was on the Bulls and that in those finals runs, and then the way he changed his approach to how he handled his teammates when he went to the Wizards, and how his role as a mentor kind of just completely changed.
That's right.
So that's super interesting to point out because you don't really hear about that too much. You always just get drilled in that narrative of, these crazy stories of the things with Steve Kerr and all that stuff. That's what really we hear of all the time. And I was curious. I'm like, oh, maybe he has one of those kind of stories. But obviously, that all changed after the Wizards.
But you know what? All them things that he had with Steve Kerr when he got in his face and did whatever he did to Steve. Let me tell you, that made Steve a better player. That made him more focused. That made him realize, okay, this guy want to win it all. You know what I mean? And you have to respect that. And Michael is gonna respect anything if he snap on you or say something to you, bro. The best thing you do is look at him in his face and be like, "I'm ready. Is you ready? Let's go." That's the best thing to do, because if you drop your head and you're looking all like a little puppy face, looking sad, no, bro, he's not gonna give you the basketball. I'm telling you that now. So you gotta respect the man, man. He's the man. That's all I gotta say. He's the man.
That's great. The man, Jesus, God, it's almost
all that, man.
All that.
He's all that. I'm gonna tell you, people call him the Black Jesus. That's what people used to call him, right? And it was like, yo, that's the Black Jesus, man. He do whatever he want to do. And one of my little do whatever you want to do moment is when I got taken out the game. I was sitting down. I go to the end of the bench. Michael Doug substitute Michael for, I don't know if it was Tyrone Lue. I think it was Tyrone Lue or whatever. So T. Lue came out. Mike came and sat down next to me. And so we just kind of like this little talk we was doing. And T. Lue made one mistake. Mike got up and said, "Oh my God," and walked past me, walked past the coaches, walked past everybody, and looked at T. Lue and was like, "T. Lue, come here." And he took him out the game. No. And when T. Lue sat next to me, I said, "Bro, he just walked past the coaches, didn't even ask to get checked in or nothing, and he just checked you out, bro." He like, "What?" I said, "Yes, yes." Nah, I said, that is some Black Jesus stuff right there, bro. That's crazy. That is crazy. I've never seen a player do that in my life, man. But that's Michael.
That's great. I've never heard that story. That's fantastic.
That's Michael, man. I'm telling you, that's Michael all day long. Wow. But we call him M. That's what we call him. Just M. Me, Tyrone Lue, Richard Hamilton. We gave him that nickname M. So when we see him, we be like, "Let's go, M." That's all we call him. So it's funny.
No, so I mean, with this point, I was going to ask you some more questions about the bubble, but I kind of see where you would stand on the greatest of all time debate when it comes to Jordan versus LeBron.
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Michael was the best in his era, and I feel like LeBron is the best in his era. I can't even say who's better than who, because they both are outstanding players. I think when you have some great ball players, at that time, it's not even about who's better than who. I think at that moment, it's all about they are playing basketball at a high level, and they are entertaining me, you, and millions of people in this world. So I think we just got to accept the eras. At Michael era, Michael was the man in his era. Then Kobe came, and Kobe started being the man, and then LeBron is now. So you have these different eras of players that did what they had to do. So I'm gonna be honest with you. It's hard for me to weigh in on that. I just go by eras, man. Them guys they all in a category that I wish I could have been in, but they are at a level that there's only so many players in that elite level, and they're just one of the ones that have to be a little above elite. So
just a little bit above elite, not nothing too, yeah.
Yeah, it's above. way above
elite.
Way above the elites. Yeah, they're on a whole nother planet, bro. Whole nother planet.
No, it's funny because that's always my response, is just appreciate greatness. I feel like
you gotta appreciate the greatness, man. Yep. You have to appreciate it. We shouldn't. I'm just saying, we just as people, we know we like to get everybody want a story. You know how it goes, man. Sometimes people like to debate a lot. And when people like to debate, people looking for stories to debate with. And this is one of them stories that will start up a lot of debates, and I'm just one of them guys that I'm a little more I play it safe because I respect both of them. I respect all the greatness of players that came through the NBA, and I love the NBA. Man, the NBA have been great to me. It's been great to my family. I can't complain about it at all. And even though I only spent 4 years in there, I'm so connected with so many people. You would think that I spent 18 to 20 years in the NBA, because it's that basketball family, that friendship that I connected with a lot of people, man, and I still have to this day. So, hey, it's been good to me. I cannot complain.
Oh, definitely. And everyone, first thing they notice is just your work ethic, and that obviously stuck out to probably the entire league. Is just, okay, this guy's gonna work hard. He's a grinder, and that obviously makes an impression on everybody. And just to move on to kind of your life after the NBA. I noticed obviously you played for Olympia Larissa in Greece. So as a Greek American, that stood out to me. And I just wanted to kind of ask you about kind of just the experience, because I've played in Greece before on youth teams. So they've brought all-star teams from the States over to Greece before when I was in high school, which is a lot of fun. And basketball there is completely different than it is here. Yes, and I just kind of want to ask if you could weigh in on that, kind of what your first culture shock of being there was, and that whole sort of thing.
You know what? I mean, I like the Greeks, man. It was cool. I mean, I love the food. It was great. It was a different style of basketball. It was not more of how we play here in the U.S. But at the end of the day, I can connect with anybody who loves the game of basketball. It doesn't matter how you play it. I mean, I can adjust. They can adjust to me. The players was outstanding, man. I'm more of a team player, so I'm not the type of guy that want to go over there and score 30, 40 points and the rest of the team get 2 or 3 and you lose all the time. I'm not one of them Americans. So anybody on any teams that I played with in Europe, they would tell you they love playing with me, because the first thing I tell them before the game, because I try to be a captain, is I can't do this by myself. So I don't want you guys sitting around watching me. I need y'all to play. Play your game. I know how to get my points. So I don't need to have the ball in my hand all the time. I know how to get my points. So I just tell the guys, look, play your game. If you open, take your shots. And I made sure that I kept it where I was probably averaging 16, 17 points or whatever points I was averaging. I had the owner of the team at the time. I can't remember his name. Or Larissa, y'all say Larissa? Yeah.
Larissa, yeah.
Yeah, I can't say it like you. I can't put that in the, but yeah. but yeah, the owner was pretty cool, man. He came up to me and he was like, hey, why you don't score 30 points? Why you don't score? I said, you know what I want to do? I want to win. I want to win. I don't want to come out here and I need these players. I don't want these players to be like, man, this guy, he think he's this. We don't want to play with him and all that. And that's what a lot of Americans do. They go there and they have this they think they Michael Jordan type of mentality. And nobody want to play with them, But all of my guys, they all wanted to play with me. And it was just fun that way for me. It was a fun way. So what is the I'm trying to think of the word in Greek. What would they say? What is it?
Is it a good word or a bad word?
I would say it's probably bad.
Is it Malaka?
Malaka, yeah, Malaka, yeah.
I knew it.
Everybody say Malaka all the time. Malaka, that's all I hear is Malaka. That's the word, yes.
That is so funny.
That's the first word I learned was Malaka.
That's the only word you need.
That's the only word you need.
That's the only word you need, and you're fine. You're definitely okay. That's right. Hilarious.
Yeah.
So just, I mean, I didn't think this would be that funny, but when reading about your time in Greece, I saw that you won the All-Star Slam Dunk contest, and I just wanted to ask you. I couldn't find the video. What was the dunk you used to win that competition, and what was that like?
The dunk is actually, there is a dunk. I gotta send it to you because I actually seen the dunk. I went between the legs, two legs. I went between the legs. I dunked it. And I kind of pointed up at the rim like this or whatever. After I dunked it, it was no. I'm sorry, I didn't point at the wind. I actually did this at the end.
Oh,
like I said, it's over.
For those that can't see and they're listening in, it was a Vince Carter style. It's over. It's over.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over, man. So it was like I was like, it's over, and I did win that, man. It was fun. Again, it's one of them things. It's basketball, man. We had really good. It was a nice crowd there, man. It was some people that was just basketball fans, and I had a great time entertaining them.
Oh yeah, that's great. That must have been a really fun time, and it's very hard to go. Whenever someone does an East Bay and goes between the legs, it's always off of 1 foot almost.
Yeah, I'm a 2 leg. Yeah. I know. Don't too many people do it over 2 legs, but I did over 2.
Yeah, that's definitely very difficult. Yeah, so definitely 10, whatever they use, 10s, 50s, whatever it was across the board.
Yeah. Oh, I got a perfect score. I did get a perfect score, so it was good.
That's great. Also, just to wrap up, the last thing I wanted to ask you was, so now your son, Tyrone Nesby IV, he's having a lot of success at Wagner College here in New York City. What do you think of the next steps for him?
He's going out to, hold on for a second. Tito, come here. I'll let you ask him.
Oh, sure thing.
Yeah, we about to change this interview up a little bit. You know, let's get this a little different. Make this a little more funner. I want to ask you what you're doing at the Wagner. Here you go.
Gotcha. What's going on?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Kind of just what you've obviously had a lot of success at Wagner. What's kind of the next steps for you?
I'm gonna be transferring to a Division II school in California. It's called Cal State San Marcos. So I'll be transferring out there for the next 2 years. Good
luck going there. I think you're gonna do great.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we good? All right, there we go. Now get the hell away from me. Now it's back to me.
That's the first time I've had someone calling someone from another room. That was funny.
Oh yeah, man. I'm different like that. I'm different like that. So
definitely spice things up. So that wraps it up for our discussion today. I want to thank you so much for coming on. We had a lot of laughs at the end. Some great discussion on mentality and your career at the beginning. And just thank you for coming on. And I hope we can talk again soon.
Hey John, look, man. Thanks for having me, man. I'm all for the young people, man. I love to see my young people get out there, man. You guys are the one that's going to keep basketball alive. So thank you very much and continue doing what you're doing, man.
Thanks for listening to the Big Fellas Podcast. Check us out on all major social media platforms at Big Fellas Pod to join the chop up. You can also listen to us on every podcast platform on the planet. Stay tuned for the next episode, Big Fellas.